The 1909 Lincoln wheat cent. A humble 1-cent coin, yet one of the most legendary and sought-after coins in American history. A penny that was born out of national pride, struck in a time of change, and still cherished by collectors over a century later. But what makes it so special? Is it its historical significance? Its rare varieties? Or the staggering values some of these coins have sold for at auctions? Today, we're going to take a deep dive into everything you need to know about the 1909 Lincoln cent. From its origins to its minting process, from key varieties to jaw-dropping values, this is the complete story of one of America's most iconic coins. So, sit back, grab your coin loop, and let's explore the world of the 1909 Lincoln wheat cent. The history of the 1909 Lincoln wheat penny. The story of the 1909 Lincoln cent begins with President Theodore Roosevelt. At the turn of the 20th century, Roosevelt believed that U.S. coin designs had become outdated and uninspiring. He wanted to revitalize American coinage, making it more artistic and symbolic. Enter V.D.B. Brenner, a Lithuanian-born sculptor who had a deep admiration for Abraham Lincoln. Brenner had already designed a portrait of Lincoln for a plaque in 1907, and Roosevelt himself had seen and admired his work. So, when the decision was made to create a cent honoring Lincoln for the 100th anniversary of his birth, Brenner was chosen as the designer. For the first time in U.S. history, a real person was featured on the circulating coin. His obverse design depicted Lincoln's profile facing right, surrounded by the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1909. The reverse featured two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent, United States of America, and the motto E Pluribus Unum. But controversy arose when the public noticed Brenner's initials, V.D.B, prominently displayed at the bottom of the reverse. Many critics felt this was excessive and looked like free advertising for the artist. The backlash was swift, and the U.S. Mint quickly decided to remove the initials. However, a limited number of these V.D.B cents had already been struck and released into circulation, making them one of the most famous and valuable varieties in numismatic history. The minting process. The 1909 Lincoln cent was struck at two U.S. mint facilities, Philadelphia and San Francisco. But how was this coin made? Let's take a step inside the minting process of the early 20th century. 1. Planchet preparation. The mint used a 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc alloy for the Lincoln cent. Large sheets of this metal were fed into presses, where circular blanks, called planchets, were punched out. These planchets were then washed and polished to remove impurities. 2. Annealing and upsetting. The planchets were heated in a furnace to soften them, making them easier to strike. After cooling, they passed through an upsetting mill, which raised a slight rim around the edges of the blank. 3. Die preparation. The master die, created from Brenner's design, was used to make working dies. Each die was carefully inspected and polished to ensure a clear strike. 4. Striking the coin. Planchets were fed into the coining press, where immense pressure, over 40 tons, was applied to imprint the design. Each cent was inspected before being bagged and shipped for distribution. This was a time-consuming process, but it resulted in one of the most iconic coins in American history. However, not all of these coins were created equal, which brings us to the different varieties and their values. Key varieties and values. The 1909 Lincoln cent exists in several key varieties, each with its own level of rarity and value. Let's break them down one by one. 1. 1909 V.D.B, Philadelphia Mint. Mintage, 27,995,000. Value. Circulated, $1,000, $10,000. Uncirculated, $2 million, $3 million. 2. 1909 V.D.B, San Francisco Mint, the Holy Grail. Mintage, 484,000, extremely rare. Value. Circulated, $1,000, $3,000. Uncirculated, $5 million, $10 million plus. High-grade specimens, MS67 Plus, have sold for over $15 million. 1909, Philadelphia, no V.D.B. Mintage, 72,702,618. Value. Circulated, $50 thousandths, $60 thousandths. Uncirculated, $10 million, $15 million. 41909S, San Francisco, no V.D.B. Mintage, 1,825,000. Value. Circulated, $1 million, $2 million. Uncirculated, $20 million plus. The 1909S V.D.B is truly the crown jewel of Lincoln cents, with collectors willing to pay enormous sums for top condition examples. Think you might have a 1909 Lincoln cent hiding in your collection? Check old coin albums, estate sales, and even rolls of pennies from the bank. And always look for the mint mark and V.D.B initials. Deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.